Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is stock chart analysis. We're going to analyze and look at Celgene, Delta Airlines, Goldman Sachs, and United Airlines, or United. It used to be United Airlines. It's UnitedContinental Airlines now. So anyway, we're going to look at these four stocks. I'm adding them to my portfolio of stocks that I look at and monitor for option trading purposes. Goldman Sachs I have been for a long time, but these other three are new, and therefore I'm going to look at it on a weekly chart and on the daily chart. So let's start off here with Celgene on a weekly basis. When I pan it back out, this is everything I've got on Celgene back to, I guess, back to the mid-80s, 1987, 1986 or so. And when I look at that, it looks like, because this is a low right in here. So if we look at this low in 1998, I think this is a major cycle wave 1 up, cycle wave 2 back, cycle wave 3 up, and 4 back, and now we're in a 5th cycle wave. Okay, and so when I look at that 5th cycle wave, then what are the primary waves that I'm seeing in here? And it looks like a 1, 2, and a very long extended 3, which is usually the most powerful wave, and the one that extends more often than not. And then we've got this 4th pullback right here. So we're in this fifth of a fifth is what I would call it. And boy, I'm a little bit hoarse today, so I apologize with that. So right now, I think we've got 5 waves completed up here. I think we had 1, 2, quick pullback. We had another 3, extended 3, and then a 4th that was almost like a little triangular type action, and then a 5th wave here. Now it almost looks like we're getting a little bit of an A, B, C type reaction, but this strong pullback, I'm not, snapback, I'm not sure what to make of that right now as a part of a scenario. So the best thing I would look at and say about that is just that I'm going to draw a trend line up here where there's going to be resistance. Let me blow it up a little bit more. Okay. So this is going to be resistance, and we'll see if it breaks through there or not. And then, we'll adjust. We'll see what's going on. Clearly it broke down out of this, at first I wasn't sure it was going to do that, but then it did break, as did a lot of the other biotech stocks too. So, but it snapped back pretty strongly here. We did have this trend line in here that it broke, and so I'm actually surprised with today's action here. So we're gonna have to watch this pretty close to see what develops. We've still got the 21 above the 55. Which is above the 233. Now the 10 has broken down below those two in here. So we're getting some mixed signals on this. So right now, no specific opinion on Celgene other than watching it, thinking that there's a good chance it has topped out and is doing some kind of topping action. The next one we're going to take a look at is Delta Airlines. So let's start off with Delta's weekly chart. When I look at Delta's weekly chart, again, it looks like there's some kind of a top that's happening here, and there's a trend line. It almost looks like a shoulder head and a shoulder, and that it's breaking down. Let me back on out. I don't have any kind of Elliott wave opinion on the wave count in here. And a lot of times, honestly, the wave count works best on growth stocks, very, very active growth stocks, outside of indices. I mean, because the best place for the Elliott wave to be applied is to broad market indices where investor psychology really gets played out, okay? But a lot of these stocks are pretty active now. I mean, Delta is 59 million is a 50-day average, 59 million shares. I mean, that's a lot. But again, don't have a specific perspective from an Elliott wave view on Delta. We're just going to say right now it looks like it's topping out. Let's go to the daily chart and see what's doing. And this is a closer look at that topping pattern. Looks like we're getting this shoulder, head, shoulder broke down. We got an initial pullback, and again, it bounced right off of the 233-day moving average and pulled back. We do have the 21 breaking below the 55, so the 10 and the 21 are downtrending here. We got this snapback over the last 4 days, as the entire market seems to be doing right now. But again, it's pulled right back to the trend line. So it could be nothing more than a snapback to the trend line. So we're going to have to watch. I'll be watching to see, does this reverse and start to head back down or not. So again, good, interesting, view on Delta. Again, I think it's topping out. We'll have to watch and see. The next one is Goldman Sachs, which we've been tracking for quite a while. Goldman Sachs, I do think, is in 5 waves up also. I think we've gotten the 5 waves to the upside, and that we are now doing started some kind of corrective action. And, we get this first move, downdraft move here, and we've gotten a snapback. And we look at the retracement issue here. So it's pulled back a little bit over 50% today from, and actually I didn't quite grab the high. There we go. There's the high. So it's right at 50%. So we've had a 50% retracement of the entire move down. So that's not unusual at all. And actually, if this is a wave 1, if this is starting some kind of down move, it's not unusual to see it go 61.8% or even deeper on a wave 2 pullback. So, we're just going to, watch to see, what does this start to do? Does this start to strengthen? Is there any other kind of pattern that develops on it? Right now, I'm not seeing anything other than this pullback. And the next thing we're going to take a look at is United Airlines weekly. And again, just started covering United also, UnitedContinental. And I think on a weekly basis that it's in some kind of upward channel here. There's a possibility it's coming down to the bottom of this channel. That would be my next expectation. Again, I'm not specifying any kind of Elliott wave pattern in here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the daily chart and see how that looks. Let me pull this on up. I remember the one thing about this is, it looked like we're getting some kind of flat, an A, B, C, and this was like a diagonal for the C wave. And then all of a sudden we're getting a series of 3s, and a lot of wide-ranging moves here on UnitedContinental. And this is right here is January, the 1st of January, right in here. So this is what 2014 looks like. Okay, so a lot of wide swinging moves like this, and it's a series of like 3s. These are all overlapping, so it's pretty clear this is all very much corrective action in here. And this move here, again, a big retracement move. If we go to the top of this move here, and we go to the bottom here, it's retraced well beyond 61.8%. Assuming that this is a down move. Now, let me pull back out of this. Right now, we did go to a lower low from this point, okay? And it's really hard to tell because it looks like this is almost doing some kind of broadening action now that I look at it. I mean, here, let me show you what I'm talking about. And let me use the crosshairs. I apologize. Sometimes that becomes very confusing when I look at that. When I look at this almost looks like some kind of broadening top of some kind. But it's a little confusing with this action over here. But the fact that we go to a higher high here, we go to a lower low here, go to a higher high here, and then we come to a higher high again, and then come back down, and it's like we're starting to break to a lower low, get this snapback. So a lot of violent moves back and forth. We'll just have to watch to see if this is going to roll over and head back down again. The fact that 21 broke below the 55 could be signaling that, but again, these are all, moving averages are all, lagging indicators. So All right. So again, kind of an introduction to UnitedContinental. No specific play. I am wary about this move from the standpoint of jumping in and just all of a sudden getting bullish. I mean, this thing has gone straight up. I mean, look, it's already had a 25% move in the last couple of days from 40 up to 50. So anyway, we will be watching it. That's it for these stocks. And again, this is going to be a part of my rotation with these 4 stocks. I'll be back with them in 2 weeks. So this has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. If this video was beneficial, helped you in any way, please share it on social media. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. You get the access to the Trade Ideas webpage, and you can download the free PDF I've got for you, the 5 Essentials. So, all right, have a great rest of the day, everyone, and we'll be back on Wednesday night with a market analysis, market update.